What is the best background check for boyfriend or girlfriend related searches? To get started, go to sheriffsdepartment.net and you'll be able to do exactly what I'm doing. And these are going to be your best options if you want to do a background check on a boyfriend or a background check on a girlfriend. You could use direct state resources to get this done. So I'm going to use the state of Idaho for this example. Majority of the states will have a very similar structure when it comes to doing background checks. Some are going to be a little easier, some are going to make it a little bit more difficult. But for this example, let's just pick a state here. And we have one of the first things you'll see on here is a name-based search. This is an instant check. So you can type anybody's name in here, it'll instantly give you some information. And what this does is it gives you a big picture look at somebody's records. Now this thing will pull not only public records, criminal records, it'll look at social media, it will look at phone numbers, it will look at a lot of different databases that you might not even be thinking of. But you also want to couple something like this with a, it depends how deep you want to go with this background check. You want to look at state resources. So once you've a background, the top search option here will sometimes show you different locations that a person might have lived in. So sometimes you might want to do this check in surrounding states, or if you find out that the person has moved from a different state, you want to go back to whatever state they lived in previously and do a background check there also, because people will have a paper trail all over the place. So state specific, you have when it comes to doing background checks, there are certain record types that are pretty much essential. Court records, criminal records, at times driving records, depending on what it's used for, business lookup, prison records, sex offender registry. And especially when it comes to boyfriend, girlfriend type of background checks, dating type of background checks, you definitely want to check out some of these on here. Maybe not necessarily driving records or business lookup, but if you want to see if the person is telling you the truth, that they say they're a contractor or they have a business, you could verify that information. Also, if you want to dig even a little bit deeper, you could go at the county level, and counties will give you court records also. They'll also give you jail information, so you could look at if there's any recent arrests or mugshots available, warrants, things like that. Also, you could verify what type of real estate the person owns, so you could look at property records. You just type in a last name, first name, and pull up any information available at the county. Majority of this stuff is going to be free also. So let's come back here to the top and look at some of these essential record types. So let's take a look at criminal records. So and every state is going to have something similar to this, and what you have an option for is a fingerprint type of a background check, and this is typically used for people hiring. So we don't need to worry about that, especially if it's a dating or boyfriend girlfriend type of a check. Maybe you don't need to go that extensive unless it needs to happen. But a lot of times it's going to be a name-based check, and so state of Idaho is charging $20 to get this done. And again, sheriffsdepartment.net will give you the resources to whatever state you're doing this in. You'll be able to find the official resource, which is direct. So this is going to be the most up-to-date information. And then the other thing you could check out is court records, and this will have criminal plus civil records. So if somebody got sued, maybe it's not a criminal record, but it could be some civil matter that's important, and maybe this information needs to be known. So definitely check out court records. And state of Idaho here has their centralized state system will cover 40 counties, so pretty much all the counties are going to be in this search. Some states you'll have to do this county at the county level. So they might not have a centralized database for you to use, and so it requires a little bit of digging around at the county level to do these types of court record searches. Unfortunately, does require a little bit of time sometimes, but majority of the time these are also going to be free. So it's something that definitely should be looked at. Also, incarceration records and sex offender registry is another thing. If you can just Google whatever state DOC, Department of Corrections, or we have the list available at sheriffsdepartment.net for you also. All you need is a short name or a last name and a first name, and you'll be able to see if somebody has been in the prison system within that state. This search is also free, and it doesn't hurt to check. Another thing to look at is the sexual offender registry, and every state has a centralized statewide system where this could be looked at. Also, the local sheriff's department could potentially have their own database that they're running. So definitely when it comes to boyfriend, girlfriends, dating, things like that, probably an important database to check also. So we have options for also inmate searches of vital records, things like marriage records, divorce records, things like that could also be researched. Warrant checks. So there's quite a few databases directly from the government that could be looked at when it comes to dating. And I'm going to go ahead and drop the link sheriffsdepartment.net into the description. You can click on that or just type it into your browser and start on your search. Thanks for listening.